Welcome back. All right, so it's preseason, right? So you don't want to take too much out of this, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say Chicago could be absolutely awful this year. And I say that because, this game in Milwaukee tonight, I want to give some kind of positive something to Chicago fans. They've had 5 goals in 4 games in the preseason. So again, it's just preseason, but I mean, we knew it. While I was watching this game, I kept thinking, I knew they were going to be bad. But watching this in action and knowing that there's some guys who are learning and there's some guys who are going to be out of the lineup and all that, it's not going to be your whole lineup. How bad could this get, right? So it was held in Milwaukee, which I think was great, home of the Admirals. Apparently not played in the building the Admirals use. They're using the same building that the Milwaukee Bucks use. So that's kind of nice. It's nice to see them get an NHL preseason game. We've talked about Milwaukee and live streams. I've talked about them as potentially a place where you could relocate a team or put an expansion team, but there's never been anything really serious when it comes to putting an NHL team in Milwaukee. But it looked like it was a good crowd. It looked like they enjoyed themselves. I would imagine if you're a Wild fan in that crowd, you did. And if you're a Chicago fan and you really want Bedard, you might have come out of tonight's hint. Boy, are we getting Bedard. So Fleury versus Mrazek in this one. Fleury was not very busy. Early push by the young Wild players. I cannot say enough good things about the Wild coming out of this game. But again, it's a matter of they're up against a Chicago team that, anyways, the Hawks get a power play at 1:23. There was a shorthanded chance for Duhaime that was held. Duhaime was an absolute monster tonight. I don't know what what happened with Duhaime coming into this, but wow. We then have a minute and 5 seconds of 4-on-4. Good back and forth during the 4-on-4. Foligno has a net drive that's defended. Everything's killed off. The shots are 4-3 for Minnesota at 6 minutes. So pretty evenly played, but it wouldn't stay that way. Kane has a rush chance that's defended. Blackwell has a shot kicked aside. Mrazek then denies Rossi as the Wild are pressing. The Wild shot blocking, really good defense, and that continued throughout the game. Athanasiou has a net drive that's defended. Seth Jones fires one high. The Wild press with 5 minutes left. Petan at a net drive that deflects out. I'd like to see Nick Petan make the Wild, but I don't know that's going to happen, but it'd be kind of fun if he did. 2:46 left. The Wild get a power play. Goligoski has a shot that's blocked. The Hawks clear it out. Hartman fanned on one. Freddie Gaudreau had a shot deflect wide. It's killed off. There were no shots that actually hit the net during that power play. And things get kind of punchy at the horn, which means we get 4-on-4 to start the second period. One thing that was interesting to me, watching the Bally's feed for this, is that whenever there was a fight after a whistle, if they were going to commercial, they still went to commercial, which is odd because with most Sportsnet Hockey Night in Canada broadcasts, they don't. They just, oh, hey, there's a fight going on. Hey, there's a lot of pushing going on. We'll go to the commercial right after this. Hey, just one of those things I noticed last year. I think I mentioned it in a review or two. I'm just mentioning it here because why not? Second period. Lambos breaks up a Kane rush, clears it out. I thought Lambos played really well, but the kids played really well for Minnesota in general. Eriksson X then denied on a net drive. The Wild are controlling, but the Hawks go to a power play. They need, if this is how the Hawks power play is going to play this year, they need to just decline them. Dewar scores a breakaway goal on a turnover by Domi at 4 minutes and 4 seconds, and Dewar was just gone. Excellent game by Dewar. Then the Hawks couldn't set up. The Wild have the momentum. Eriksson Ek clears it out. No shots on net by Chicago. Minnesota got one. That one went in the net. Korchinski was getting ice time. If you want a positive for Chicago, I think Korchinski has played well. We'll see if he sticks with the team and gets into 9 games to start the season or if they go ahead and play him. But I thought he played well. Hartman then had a net drive that was defended. The Hawks then with a 3-on-1. Damon Hunt breaks it up. Absolutely great play by Damon Hunt and really impressed with his play tonight as well. There's a press by the Hawks at 8.5 minutes. Fleury makes a save or two there. Not a lot of shots on net, though, for Chicago tonight. Stillman blasts one high. Gaudreau then had a net drive. That was defended. Fogarty's denied and close. Fogarty, another one, had a good game. A lot of kids. Mrazek holds on to that one. Lafferty then had a net feed that deflects away as the Hawks are pressing. Gaudreau's then denied on a fast break. So Mrazek was busy. Goligoski couldn't bury one. Then the shots are heavily favoring the Wild at this point in the game. And it really is Mrazek that's keeping it from being 3-4-5-0. Hawks get a power play with 2:58 left, and it's a double minor. So that's 4 minutes not to score if you're Chicago. Domi has a shot deflect wide. The Wild clear it out. The Wild then force the Hawks offside on their next entry. Domi blasts one high in the closing seconds. So Max Domi's on the board a lot, But, you know, if you're Chicago, you're looking for goals and points. Notice that in relation to other reviews I've done in the preseason, this one seems to be a lot shorter. There really wasn't a whole lot to say other than it was 1-0 after 2. It felt like it should have been a lot more than that. So the third period, remembering that they're still on the penalty kill, there's a shorthanded rush chance for Goligoski. He shoots that one high. It's killed off. The Hawks in that 4-minute power play, I don't know that they got one really good shot on net. They had some looks, but there really wasn't a really good chance there. Then there's a post for Boldy on a net drive. Little backhander too. That would have been fun if that had gone in. Hickett's then had a shot held with traffic in front. Blackwell had a net feed. That wouldn't go. The shots had really been running at about a 3-1 pace throughout the game in favor of Minnesota. This is just for every one shot by Chicago was 3. And I was watching the shot totals at the bottom of the screen. Absolutely amazing how much Minnesota controlled this. Hartman fires one through the crease. Hunt then fires one wide from in close. Fogarty had a wraparound opportunity. That was held. We get some shoving after that, and they went to commercial. Hawks get a power play. They can't set it up. Solid penalty kill work. And with 4 seconds left in that power play, it's a shorthanded goal by Boldy. And Hartman with the assist and the work at 8:22 to make that happen. He buried the rebound. Solid play by Hartman to get that puck to the net. And so, yeah, that's the end of that power play. And then Dewar forces a turnover. Now, Chicago got the puck back briefly, but then there's another turnover. At least that's how I saw it and how the announcers seemed to see it. Now, if you look at the app, last time I looked, it's Duhaime unassisted at 10:34 with the goal. Duhaime had a fantastic game, but listening to the announcer in the building, they gave an assist to Dewar. So I'm throwing Dewar on the board with an assist because it's preseason. It doesn't matter. It could not matter less. Great play tonight by Dewar. He's my first star of the game. Duhaime's my second star of the game. And you know what? Damon Hunt, third star, sure. But anyways, spoiler alert. But yeah, Duhaime roofed it in close. The Hawks are just completely out of it. The turnovers were alarming in frequency and where they were turning the puck over too. Seth Jones then fires one high on a rush. I don't know that he got a shot on net. I should have looked before I got into this video. However, the stats are a little bit iffy because it was the third, like a neutral site that held it. It was the third party location in Milwaukee, so there weren't any hits. I'd love to have hits on the board, but there weren't any recorded. So Duhaime has a break Duhaime, I should say, has a break on a turnover and a near miss there. So he is still forcing turnovers late in this game. Hawks get another power play. The Wild killed it off. There really wasn't anything for me to write down about that power play, except maybe at least they didn't allow a shorthanded goal this time. And then the Wild get a power play with 2:48 left. It was not dangerous. It doesn't get a goal, but doesn't need to, right? Kills another 2 minutes. The Wild, I would say they hung on, but they didn't. They kept outplaying Chicago throughout the game. They win this one 3-0 in the shots. Now, I've approximated the shots based on what it said on my TV because what it says on the app I know is incorrect. It has the Hawks with 0 shots in the third period. They had a bad third, but it wasn't that bad. Shots, 9-5 in the first in favor of Minnesota, 12-4 in the second. My approximation's 12-3 in the third. It's preseason. It's a neutral site location. It's fine if my shots are off a little bit. I know Chicago had 12 shots. I believe Minnesota had 33. So almost 3-1 shot totals all the way through. Power plays, Minnesota 0 for 3, Chicago 0 for 6, and those 2 shorthanded goals against. So, yeah, Fleury saves all 12 shots against his former team for the shutout. Mrazek saves 30 out of 33 again by my count. Again, Mrazek, much like Stalock the night before, played well, and then, the dam eventually breaks, and Chicago's not bailing their goaltenders out at all. So, I do wonder how bad this is going to get. It may warrant a video before we get into the regular season. How bad could this be? And if you're a Hawks fan, let me know in the comment section below. Has this preseason had you lower the amount of games you think they're going to win this season? Are you getting your Bedard jersey already? And again, so that's going to be the question mark is, it feels like there's 3 teams that are competing for what's likely going to be the worst record in the league. I really think it's going to be Chicago and Arizona. They're going to be neck and neck for that. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, as always. If you're a Wild fan, how did you feel about tonight's game? Are you excited about Boldy? Rossi doesn't get on the board, but he had a good game. And, yeah, I mean, the kids are pretty good in Minnesota, which they need, right? If Minnesota's going to navigate this cap hell that they're in, They need the kids to play well, and they did tonight. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.